Hi, my name is LaNia Sproles. I live in Milwaukee. I'm an artist and I paint, I draw, and I do lots of collage. So today our project will be focused on a lot of the things that I do in my own studio, and it will be a drawing and collage based activity. So I'll start with the first step. So I'm gonna grab a cup because this will help me draw my friends. So you want to pick 2 to 3 friends or people that you miss or a family member, and they will be the flowers. So I'm gonna choose 2 people, so that means I have to draw 2 circles. So I'm gonna have 2 flowers. So I'm just sketching really lightly with a pencil. So you make sure you spread them out because we're gonna cut them out later. All right, so now I have 2 circles. So I'm gonna base my Flower Friends project on 2 people, and one person is my best friend Cecilia that I haven't seen in a really long time, and the other person is my grandma who I miss very much, and that I also haven't seen since the stay-at-home order. So, and Cecilia and my grandma have 2 different personalities. So, I also want you guys to be thinking about how you want your flower to look as we go, because each person is unique and each flower should look unique. So, we're turning our friends into these unique flowers that represent their personalities. So, to help me draw my friends, I pulled up a picture of my friend Cecilia, just to help me figure out what they're gonna look like. I have a pretty good idea of what my grandma looks like just because we sort of look alike. So I'm going to go ahead and grab my pencil and start drawing their faces. The pencil's right here. So I'm gonna start sketching. See, I'm just drawing really lightly. Let me bring this a little bit closer so y'all can see. Making for sure I have my picture of Cecilia next to me. She's got some cat eyes, so I'm gonna slant them a little bit. So I have drawn Cecilia and my grandma. Cecilia's curly hair, kind of calm face, and my grandma, who's got some wrinkles and a little bit of a smirk on her face, so she's kind of smiling. I want my grandma to look like this because she's kind of a zany, sassy person, and she's always smiling and giggling, so I wanted to draw a face that matches her personality. So the next step is to work on your stems. So with a pencil, you want to draw out each stem. I drew a zigzag stem for my grandma, and I'm going to erase this, go over it. So I drew a zigzag one because it kind of matches her personality. And I also drew a squiggly one for Cecilia because the squiggly one kind of reminds me of a river or a body of water. And usually you go to the beach or to a river to swim in if you want to calm down. And she's a very calm person, so it kind of reminds me of the way a river is shaped. So once you're done drawing these out in pencil, you can go ahead and start coloring in everything that you've drawn so far in pencil. So once you've drawn everything out in pencil, you're going to color it in. I chose blue for Cecilia's stem because it does remind me of a river. And then you're gonna cut it out like this. I'll show you my grandma's stem. So I colored it in, I cut out this one, and I colored my grandma's stem green right here. And I also have their faces. Cecilia's face I colored in, and Cecilia's stem. So now I have 2 stems, 2 faces, And then the next step is to take your face and pick whichever side of the stem. This is going to be the top for me, and glue the face right at the top of that stem. So I'm going to do that really quick. Okay, so now I glued each face to its own stem. So I've got my crazy, zany, giggly, happy grandma on her zigzag stem. And then I have calm, cool, collected Cecilia on her squiggly river looking like stem. So both of them have stems now. Now the next step is to draw leaves. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So you want to make first sure to draw at least two leaves for each of your flowers. Like I said, you can make up to 2 to 3 flower friends. So I chose to make 2. And so I'm going to try to stay within the same theme and make zigzag leaves for my grandma and sort of blobby ones for Cecilia that match the shape. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So on another piece of paper, you're going to sketch out the shape of the leaves just like you did with the stem and the face. So I drew some stems, like I said, to match so I drew some leaves to match each stem. So here goes the blobby ones for Cecilia. And now I'm going to color them in. So I colored in both the leaves. So I got 2 zigzaggy ones and 2 blobby ones. And then I'm going to choose where I want to put the leaves. So you can put them wherever you want, and you can make as many leaves as you want. I just chose to make 2, and I think it's good to at least have 2. So I'm going to do that really quick. So now I have the leaves glued to my zigzag stem. So I colored them in and cut them out, glued them on, and I also have it on this one. So I just put it wherever I want. So notice how these are very different flowers. So I want you to really carefully think about how unique each person is that you choose for this project and how different you want to make their flowers. So the next step is making the petals. So I got my leaf friends over here just chilling. But the next step is to make the petals. So you can either find things around your house like magazines or newspaper, but I'm a person that doesn't really get the newspaper magazines, so I just kind of found some craft paper around my house. So this is some craft paper I found, and these really pretty sparkly paper that I might use. Or you can just get another sheet of paper and draw your petals out. So you have a couple options. So you can either get a newspaper. So for my grandma flower friend, I'm going to draw her petals. And I think for Cecilia, I'm going to use this cloud paper because Cecilia is more of a calm person. I want the petals to sort of match their personalities. So the first step is to take a pencil. If you're going to draw out the petals or on top of anything like newspaper or fancy paper or craft paper, you still want to use a pencil, and you want to take just the top. So remember, their faces are going to be the center of the flower, and we're just putting petals around their heads. So you want to take your pencil and hold down the head, trace around the shape of the face. See? And I think since I'm going to draw out the petals for my grandma, I think I'm going to just draw zigzags around the circle. Kind of staying within the same theme. Again, she's a sassy, fun lady, so I'm gonna do that. And then once I'm done, I can color this in with any kind of marker I want, or crayon or colored pencil. I think I'm going to choose orange for this one. So I was able to color in my zigzag petals. All right, just gonna use it. So I colored it in. Notice how I saved this area for the head, and I'm gonna go ahead and glue that down. But I also did the same thing for Cecilia, so I traced her head shape on this cloud piece of paper, and then I decided to go with a cloud form for her petals. So I'm gonna glue that or tape it down. So I advise you to use glue because it'll be a lot stronger. But since I glued Cecilia to the cloud shape that I just cut out, and I glued my grandma to the zigzag shape that I cut out. And now I have two flower friends. So you want to focus on their personalities, and remember to pick 2 to 3 friends. It could even be your teacher that you really miss, or a family member that you haven't seen in a while since the stay-at-home order. And you really want to focus on the best parts of them. So I try to make something that symbolizes the sun a little bit for my grandma, because she is so full of life, and she is really funny. And I chose the zigzags because of who she is. And then Cecilia, because she's really calm and cool and collected. I chose something that reminds me more of water and clouds, something that we look at and we think of peace. So, and I just miss them dearly. These are people that I won't be able to see for a while. But I think when I have friends around, literally, I can remind myself that they're still there for me, and we just have to find new ways of communicating with them. So I hope that is helpful, and I hope you guys have fun making your flower friends, and have a good day.